Aloha, everyone. Ah. Let's just take a deep breath and land right here and right now. For those of you who don't know me, I am Reverend Rita. For those of you who know me, I was gone last week, but I am back. Yay! And I'm grateful for everything that happened here while I was gone, knowing it was right where it needed to be and that my beautiful husband was just fine without me. In fact, he was more than fine without me. Anyway, so, because we are two wholes. Did you know that? Anyway, so welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Kaua'i, and we'd like to start our day with our announcements. So I'm going to invite up Michelle LeMay, and she will take us through. Michelle is one of our practitioner students, also on the Board of Trustees. Michelle?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Okay, because the way the volume was here earlier when Rita was ringing the bell, I knew you were all there. So welcome, everybody. So I have some activities that we're going to be talking about, and then also a little bit of housekeeping. We do have a brand new suggestion box here in the Honu, because there's another box that's on the table that's for affirmative prayers. But if you have suggestions, we do ask, well, I'll put it on the same table, but there's paper and pen in here. But we do ask that you also include your name so that we're able to come back to you with ideas, suggestions, solutions, and that way we know where they're coming from as well, so we can be helpful for everybody. So I'll put that on the table over there for all of us. On that table, that's our information table, so there's a lot going on over there, but please feel free to take a few minutes after our service to see what we've got, because there's lots of good information. And we do have our membership forms. We've had lots of folks who have committed to their own spiritual practice and have become members here at CSL Kauai. You do not have to be full-time residents. You can actually even be on the mainland and watching us live stream. You can be coming and going. You could be visitors. It doesn't matter. All it is for you to just make a personal commitment to your own spirituality and want to call CSL a home of yours, one of your homes, or the home. It doesn't matter. But we do need you to fill this out. And then next Sunday, we have New Member Sunday. And so we'll be honoring all of you who have recently chosen to just be part of the family. And we're all Ohana here anyways, but... and also, if you have any questions, I am the membership chair, so feel free to ask me if you want to know what that means to become a member. There's no cost to become a member. It's certainly just making that commitment and making a choice. So let me know, or you can even talk to the Revs or one of the board members if you ever have questions about anything happening here. On our book side, our bookstore side, Reverend Diane has done a great job at bringing some more books in and filling it up with lots of knowledge. Yay! Yes. And then Sue Buckley has also brought in something to bring a beauty for either yourself or friends and family. We have the holidays coming. This is a calendar that Sue, if you don't mind just standing real quick so they know who you are, because I think you should be honored for this. Yay! They're all Sue's photos that she's taking around Kauai, and she's used all different Ernest Holmes quotes for each month. So it's a pretty cool little gift for everybody. And it's a fundraiser. I did not know that part. Fantastic. I'm glad I participated. And then this week we have a couple of events happening. As we all know, Tuesday is election day. So we are going to have the center open from 7 to 7. And this is for anybody who would like to come in either before you vote, after you vote. If you've already voted, it doesn't matter. It's just to come in and hold space in silent meditation to just know the best outcome for the highest good of all. It is definitely something that we can all do on our own, but we also feel that there's a power in numbers and a power in prayer. So if you want to join us for that, we do have a sign-up sheet on the table. We are looking for leaders who would be able and willing to come for an hour or two at a time, just so that reverends don't have to be here for 12 hours. It's just for all of us to pitch in and to help. However, if you can only come in when, if you can't commit to an hour or two, it's still okay to come in. That's two separate things. But if you are available, that would be most helpful. We definitely have some volunteers already, and there's a sign-up sheet for what time that you can come and be of service. And then on Thursday, we have the very last Essential Ernest Holmes class. I feel like I've been announcing it for 6 months now. Okay, I have. Okay. But it is number 10 in the series. Even if you haven't come before, you can still come to 10. And of course, if you've been coming all along, we encourage you to come and complete with the number 10 class. And that starts at 6 to 8. 6 to 8. And then we still have a few spots for our 4th annual Sacred Journey, which is an event that happens in January. Lots of folks from off island come for this retreat. And we've also opened it up to our congregation here on island. And there's a sheet on the information table I've been referencing that gives you more details for the different events, the different workshops, where we're going to be going. Just gives you more details. And I also know Patrick put it out in an email. So also, if you're not receiving emails and you would like to, there is a sign-up sheet for that. Also, there's Facebook. There's so many ways to stay connected and to know what's happening here at the center. And last but not least, we have a brand new workshop that the Reverends are going to be doing on Wednesday called My Bold Design for Living. And that's going to be taking place from 6 to 9 on Wednesday. And it is, if you are interested in negotiating, bargaining, or deal making with your bold life design, this workshop is not for you. It is all about declaring what you want, creating what you want, and being creative about what you want. So I'm going to bring Patrick up. And he's going to
Briefly.
share, and I'm going to hover.
Hover. I always tell her, come up here, hover. I just want to tell you, there's a couple of spots left. There's a couple of spots left in the workshop. We are so thrilled. Every day we're designing this more and more. It says full, where Ted is standing over there. It says it's full, but it's really not fully committed until the people pay for their spot, because that would, on the day of, there's nothing better than having 3 people standing at your workshop. No, I'm kidding. It is actually very, very full, but I don't want anyone to miss it if you don't have to. This is really life-changing. We will not be talking about why we have not the things that we want in our lives. We're going to boldly go to what we do want in our life. And so Rita and I are very excited about it, and we will see you Wednesday. Please, if you are interested, Diane, you'll take they can pay for you. So anyway, this Wednesday, 6 to 9. It's a 3-hour. Alrighty.
Thank you.
Was that hovering enough?
I didn't need to get too much closer. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for your kind attention, and enjoy your service.
Thank you, Michelle. All right. So let's just refocus. Take a deep breath. Let everyone sit down who needs to sit down. Settle right here and right now. We're going to take a few moments to just center and meditate. And Michael and Carrie are at the piano and flute. And we're going to invite up Rob Jones, one of our practitioner interns, to lead us in meditation.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Thank you and good morning. Nice to see all of you. If you would get comfortable in your chairs and go within, close your eyes if you would like. I have a saying here from Anne Pereira. Abundance is a state of mind derived from gratitude. Abundance is a state of mind derived from gratitude. abundant presence. And if this is true for me, it's definitely true for everyone here. Everyone in Hawaii, in the world, in the universe. There is not a spot where abundant God is not. And what I know is that this service today, through our messages from our wonderful reverends, flows easily to us. Abundance appearing, waiting for us to just receive, and then let it flow back out through our lives, back to source. And in grateful mahalo, I say thank you for this manifestation. I release my word into the law as law that always says yes, as we say together, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you. That definitely
Thank you.
me.
All right, so we're going to light our peace candle. And as we do, we're going to sing our chant with Michael and Carrie. Let's let our friends come in. Oh, look who's here.
You can walk right in.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Yay.
It's like when family comes home,
Returnees
it's
to
like,
the
"Hi,
island. So in this special time, let's just know peace begins within ourselves and then moves out into our world, into our lives, right from where we are. All right? Let's do it.
Peace inside my heart, peace inside my soul, peace in our world starts with me. Peace inside my heart, peace inside my soul, peace in our world starts with me. Peace inside my heart, peace inside my soul, peace in our world starts with me. Peace inside my heart, peace inside my soul, peace in our world starts with me. Last time, peace inside my heart, peace inside my soul, peace in our world starts with me.
And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, here we are.
Welcome. I think everyone's settled now.
Yeah.
The kids are in the youth program in the room over
Yay.
there.
Woo.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Janice has been working all week long on making that room the way she wants it for the kids and putting out a curriculum. She's just really into it, and I so appreciate what she's doing. So does Patrick, yeah. So we want to make a little announcement before we start.
Yes, we do.
Because we're celebrating something really special this month along with our abundance, which comes in many forms, and one of them is Michael and Carrie Fox.
Yes, abundance.
And Michael and Carrie are leaving us. Yeah.
And the crowd goes wild.
Right, get the rope, get the rope, get the rope. Who has
Okay,
it, George?
it's okay. I think we should just remind you are at a Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai. Anyway,
but we want to let you know now because we want to celebrate them all month long, and we're going to have a
Yes.
big party for them on the 27th.
27th. So it's potluck. Bring your stuff.
So tell
Let's
everybody.
celebrate them.
And we're just going to celebrate them all month long.
That's right.
And know that they're always our ohana, no matter where. They are moving to the mainland to expand their music ministry, and
Yes.
we just know the best for them. All right, so.
And I think that there's one point with that is that when you're the kind of the mother-father thing, it's like the father thing says what's ever best for the children.
Even though we hate it.
The other part of you says, what do you think you're doing? Oh, no. We totally support them, don't we, family? Yes, there we go.
All right.
So where are we again?
I think we're at the welcome, but we wanted to.
No, the science of mind.
Oh, yeah, where are we?
They might need a little
Okay.
refresher.
All right, so just a little refresher on where you are. You're in a Center for Spiritual Living. If you don't know what that is, we practice the science of mind and spirit. That's what we call it. And it is a principle that is universal, that flows through all of creation and flows through all religions and all cultures. It's just this idea that that divine presence, that divine source is right where we are. There's nothing simpler than that. It's right where we are, and we get to live our lives, let it out from that place. And the more that we can do that, the more our lives expand. So we come together to remember that and to lift each other up and lift the consciousness of this planet at the same time, and starting with ourselves, lifting ourselves up. So thank you for coming and being here.
If you're wondering why I'm smiling, my
Smiling. Why is
wonderful
it?
host. No, you're fine. I'm just watching everybody having their little moment. Can you believe they're really going? I'm going, all right, that's why
they're still
Eve,
talking
why
about
do we tell it in the beginning?
Well,
I'm
I just
not
thought
sure.
we
I'm
could
kidding.
celebrate every moment then.
So there are people here for the very first time. I know that as an absolute spiritual fact. So
But
I'm going to have our wonderful staff minister, Reverend Diane, tell a few of them that are here.
My California Ohana is here today.
Yeah.
Vicki and Victoria from Eureka brought me to Kauai for the very first time.
We remember you. We remember you.
Reverend Mary Murray Shelton and her partner Amanda are visiting with them.
Yeah.
And Lynn and Roy from San Jose I met
Oh my gosh.
when I first came to Kauai. Thank you all for being here this morning. And Jill's here too, yes.
What?
So,
you know what? We only have an hour and 10.
but you can tell who
but
else
you
is here
can.
for the first
but
time.
we are going to say there's a lot of people here for the very first time. Sorry. She gets it because she's the staff minister thing. She gets the extra. But who is here for the very first time? Raise your hand.
These ladies back here I met before.
Oh, yes, indeed. Okay. So we over here. Oh, yeah. William's been trying this for about a year now to be the very first time. So this is what we know. Can we tell them what we know about them? Do you remember? Do you remember? You are magnificent. Magnificent. Oh, she's a mirror for,
very good.
that leads me to another point. We don't know that about you unless what? We know it about ourselves. So shall we? I am magnificent. And then there's some people watching us. They're peering in, peeking in to see what we're doing here on that live stream back there. So they're all over this country saying, look at those CSL Kauai people. So let's say aloha and that they are magnificent. Aloha. You are magnificent. Now turn to your left or right or whatever, wherever you're at, and just say, you are magnificent. You are magnificent. All right, let's bring our magnificent selves right back to this present moment. There we go.
And let's enjoy a new opening song, or I guess not that new, but we've done it. We've
Been
done
a
it a
while.
long time.
So if everybody would like to stand and take that energy up over here, we got,
Oh yeah.
we have Louise on the drums.
When I wake up, I look to the sun. A new thought is within me.
right now is that we are rising up. We are rising up so high that we can't help but rise the planet with us. So I know that right here and right now we've come to do that today in this center, to rise the consciousness of this world within ourselves and out into the world. As we sing today, as we pray today, as we talk today, everything we do today does that. So I know it, I claim it, I announce it, and I let it be so. As we say together, and so it is.
And I am the love that comes from the sun, and I am a rainbow rising on. Every single race out of space, shine on, shine on. And I am the love that comes from the sun, and I am a rainbow rising on. Everybody here, sing it loud and clear. Give love, give love, give love, give love.
Give love. Everybody together, give love. Wow.
Woo! Starting off November. Hard to believe.
Already? It's too early. No one doesn't know. All right, everyone. I'm back. Yeah. I had like quite a trip. It was talk about change. This is a month of change for all of us. And I don't know if you all know, but Patrick and I grew up at the NoHo Art Center for New Thought, which was a ministry that was started by Reverend James Mellon over probably close to 15 years ago. He was a founding pastor also, and he bought a building and started a theater company and a ministry at the same time, and people had their ideas about that. But he never let up. But what happened is him and his partner decided that they needed to change and move on to something different, so they sold the building, and it was a really big deal because that's where we all grew up. And it was like going home. You know, when, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, when your parents sell their house and then you go home and it's never quite the same again. So it was kind of that kind of feeling all weekend long. And I spoke at his doctoral ceremony, and then spoke at the last service and actually did a Hawaiian chant. I was really proud of myself. But I'm going to tell you, it was scary because I was like, okay, and I did the one Daniel did with us, and I kept watching it over, and Patrick's like, what are you doing? Are you going to do that or something? No, I'm not. Anyway, but I actually did it, and I'm glad I did it because it was about holding the space sacred and knowing that that was a sacred site because of all that happened there. And this is a sacred site because of what we do here every day as we raise our consciousness and do the things that we do here. This is a sacred site. In fact, every place we stand is a sacred site. We are holy, and where we put our feet is holy at all times. So I'm grateful that I was able to do that. And it was very abundant. And today, this whole month is about abundance. And as Rob said so eloquently in his quote, that abundance comes from a grateful heart, or however the quote went, that was the essence of it. And Ernest Holmes wrote, "We see abundance in the universe. We cannot count the grains of sand on a single beach. The earth contains untold riches, and the very air is vibrant with power." Then he asked the question, why then is man weak, sick, and unafraid? Why is man weak, poor, and unafraid? Well, nobody in this room is that. I know that. But we have had time in our lives, and there's certainly plenty of people on this planet that feel that idea. Why? That's the questions that the Science of Mind and Spirit asked. Ernest Holmes asked, why? And I was walking or running one day, and I was feeling that, the untold riches, the sand, the palm trees, it all. And I asked, why? And the palm tree said to me, "You don't know. The same abundance that's in me is also in you." The same abundance, yes? Okay, I'm talking to you. I am, and you are very abundant. The same abundance that's in me is also in you. And the difference is in why. The why is because we have freedom of choice. And we get to choose whether or not we want to experience it or not. We get to choose, and I'm not just talking about money, I'm just talking about life itself, the abundance of life. We get to choose in every moment if we want to celebrate that abundance or not. In the book, Practicing the Presence, Joel Goldsmith, the book's in the bookstore too, it's a great book, talks about like the apple tree or the fruit tree. And he goes, where do the apples come from? Where does the fruit come from? It just appears on the tree. It comes from inside the tree, but we don't know how it gets there. We just know that it does, and we trust that the papaya is going to grow on the tree. We have that same capability within ourselves to be abundant and to be prosperous and healthy and all these wonderful things because it's within us. It's called oneness. It's called oneness. And I've been working with this quote this week from Joel, well, it's actually from the Bible, but he quotes it in the Practicing the Presence, and we're doing it in practitioner class. It's, for whoever has, more will be given to him, and he will have more than enough. I'll read it again. For whoever has, more will be given to him, and he will have more than enough. But whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. Do you remember that quote from the Bible? Yeah. I used to think it meant something different. But than what I know it means now to myself. And you get to interpret it any way you want to interpret it. But the way I interpret it is the more that I have in consciousness, the more that I have in life. If I don't have a consciousness of abundance and a prosperity, then it'll just get less and less and less what I experience in my life. It makes sense, right? Because everything is consciousness. So the thing is that we look out and we go, oh my God, look at my checkbook, look at this, I don't have a relationship, I don't have this, I don't have that, or whatever, however we choose to practice lack. I mean, we all do it at times. I even do it. Come on. Yeah. I mean, we all, we kind of want things, But the truth is, and this is what Joel Goldsmith says and what all the great prophets and teachers have said, we already have it. There's nothing to want. So, okay, if you think about it, if you can't think about it in the world of form, think about what you have within you, because we say that we're the presence of God, we're the presence of this creative source that created everything, the countless grains of sand, the stars, the whole thing, right? We have all that within us. Think about the things you have. You have this ability to inspire. You have inspiration within you and be inspired. You have the ability to be creative. You're creative. Nobody can take these attributes away from you. You are a creative being just because of who and what you are. You have the opportunity to be, you are love. You cannot go out looking for love. You're already love. Edwin Gaines says that. She said you can't go out and get love. You can't go out and get more of what you already are. You already are love. You already are this immense peace that we keep talking about every time we light that peace candle. You are that peace. I am that peace. I am all the attributes of God, joy, light, beauty, all those things. I'm already there, so I'm rich. How could I not be rich when I'm all of those things? Ernest Holmes said, a man does not suddenly become affluent because he sits around and thinks. I am a multimillionaire. But when he thinks affluently, he does begin to demonstrate prosperity. And when I use the word prosperity, I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about prosperity in general. All right? So, yeah, it's all happening because we have to already know that we have it. And it's a choice to know that. It's a choice for me to know that the highest outcome of this next week in the election is already in place, that the highest outcome of these two leaving, they wouldn't be leaving if it wasn't the highest outcome for the center and for my life and for their life. But I could go into lack and go, now what are we going to do? Da-da-da-da-da, why are they leaving? We do it with so many things. But I have to know, and I have to know it before, that the highest outcome is in place. And it's a choice to know that. And when I can know it, really know it, it has to happen. I've proved it a million times. I had this little experience when I was in Los Angeles. It's just really teeny. My computer crashed. and I was in the middle of my blog, and my computer crashed. And Reverend James knocked on the door, and he said, come on, we're going to go, blah, blah, blah. And I go, I have to finish my blog. My computer crashed. And he goes, well, just unplug it and reboot it. And I said, well, I did that already, and it doesn't work. He goes, just do it again. And then he turned around and he went, Rita, reboot everything. And when he said that, yeah, it was like I suddenly got it. I was still holding on to something that was not allowing that computer to turn on. So I unplugged it, I plugged it back in, and I rebooted everything, and it went back on. This is because I knew in that moment that it had to go back on. How do we get to that spot? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. But what happens is eventually it just gets easier and easier. You get to turn on a dime when something doesn't show up the way you want it to show up. You just turn on a dime and you just keep knowing. And it's so much fun to just keep knowing. It really is. It's a surgence within yourself to know and to trust that nothing can ever harm you, that you are the light. And Ernest Holmes says this thing, I am an eternal verity. Like you're an eternal verity. You're eternal truth. You're moving and living and breathing. You're not going to end someday. You have all the time in the world. So why not live every moment from that place? So, if you can really do it, guys, if you can just work on it, I'm working on it, and I continue to work on it, to just know, and to trust and have faith. It's the only way I know. Joel Goldsmith went, one day we no longer say it, but one day we will no longer say it, we will feel it. We will feel it. And that is the moment it becomes the law of our experience. This is a feeling universe. When they talk about the law, they're talking about that energy vibration that attracts things and repels them from us. It's not some magical thing. It's actually who we are. We're vibration, we're energy, we're moving all the time, and our beings are just going, or they're going, or they're going, ah! And we want them to go, ah! We want to be in that high vibration. So one day we will no longer say it. We won't just say we're this high vibration. We'll feel it. And that is the moment that becomes the law of our experience. So, are you feeling it? Okay, that's what you get to take with you today. I just breathe into it, and I know that it is the truth for each and every one of us, that we are that high, beautiful vibration, and that we are lifting our consciousness right now, and at the same time, lifting this planet higher and higher and higher in that light, in that love, in that energy. Yes, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. And now, let me turn the time over to high vibration music.
Just want to really honor Patrick and Rita for all the experiences that we've been able to grow here in these last couple months, or last couple of years. But the last 3 weeks that we'll be here, I just want to make sure that you guys know how honored and grateful we are for this place, what we've learned, for the Aina, for the experiences, and for these two people that brought this sacred and safe place here for all of us to grow. So aloha to that. This song is very special for Hawaii. It's a very sacred song honoring CSL Kauai, honoring the land, the ocean, our sea creatures, those ohana out there, all life on this planet. And we invite you guys to sing along with it as you're going on, but the words are Ua mau, ke ea o ka aina, I kapono o Hawaii. Ua mau, ke ea o ka aina, I kapono o Hawaii. The life of the land is preserved in righteousness. Think about that. The life of the land is preserved in righteousness. That's how we should live our lives, with virtue, integrity. And that's what I've learned here with these two folks and with all of you guys. So let us all live in Pono, wherever we may be on this planet. If it's in Standing Rock or New York City or LA, wherever we're going with our lives, just to live that life in Pono. Research Pono. It's right here.
Wow.
they feel? Would their smile be content? Oh, cry. How would they feel? Would their smile be content? Oh, cry. Everybody.
Oh, Michael O'Carey. I had to make a very, very important decision during that song. You need to cancel all plans that have been made up until now. And that was really fun, and we'll still have a party, but you're staying. Okay, so back to where we were. Thank you so much. Yeah. This is a month of such abundance, and we have had so much abundance with you. You have been such teachers for myself, for Rita, for all of us. You have taught us through your ministry of music, and I know that with the plans I've heard so far that you're going off to do some really wonderful, wonderful things. Now, back to me. I found this quote because and everything is like tying together. I love those days that the messages are just tying together. And I found this quote, and it says, "The world is full of abundance and opportunity, but far too many people come to the fountain of life with a sieve instead of a tank car, a tablespoon instead of a steam shovel. They expect little, and as a result, they get a little." That's very simple, isn't it? A little depressing, but nevertheless, very, very simple. Wow, I was thinking this morning, abundance, we talk about it so much. The New Thought talks about abundance and prosperity and all of this, but we're still talking about it because obviously there's some part of us that still wants to require and attain more and more of this fullness of life. And I know that you thought that Rocky Horror Picture Show was over with, but, and I know some of you want it to be, but I can't help it. When you're in meditation and something comes to you, you must allow it to be. So I got this wonderful 2 little sentences from the movie, The Spiritual Aspect of Rocky Horror Picture Show. And Magenta, this is all towards the end of the movie where there's a big climax going on, right? You remember? Here it goes. Magenta says to Dr. Frankenfurter, "I ask for nothing." And what does Dr. Frankenfurter say to magenta? And you shall receive it in abundance. Ooh, did you like that little moment? In abundance. It's my favorite. And that was, I know that Michelle was there, and I think it was you. We were talking about the spiritual aspects. And it was either you or Katie, but Katie that came up with that whole idea of, wow, ask and you shall receive. I ask for nothing. I remember in my 20s, when I finally, after my third job of being able to really survive in Hollywood, it was such a great feeling to ask for nothing. Hi Mom, how you doing? Yeah, nothing. I ain't calling you for a dime. You're gonna be so happy to know I'm just calling to say, how are you? I was asking for nothing. But there's an arrogance to that. I don't need anything from anyone, anybody. I don't need anything. And I understand that how great that is when you're wanting to live on your own and not be dependent on it. But that's a really dangerous place for us to go to. I know it was for me. When I was like, I don't need anything from anyone. So ask and you shall receive. It's in the Bible. It says, ask and you shall receive. But first, you have to know what you want. And I'm going to tell you that if anything about this workshop on Wednesday, it's going to be that, because everyone says, I know what I want. I don't know about that necessarily. I know that we think we know what we want sometimes, but it is so terrifying to just say what I want. Ask and you shall receive. We're told in the Bible that it also in Isaiah, I can't even believe I'm quoting the Bible, George, it shall happen that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. This is the law of our being, that science of mind and spirit, what I follow, what we follow in this teaching. We say it so we can hear it. We say what we want so we can hear it. I want prosperity. Da-da-ling, or no. Does it click? No, yes. We say it. We don't need that law of our being, that love, that law that created everything, seen and unseen, doesn't need us to give an order list. We do. We do. I have asked for nothing, and you shall get it in abundance. Now, I think it might be time that we start asking for everything good in our life. How many times we have asked for things and they show up and you say to yourself, that's not really what I asked for. But some part of us, that's what you meant. That's the part that I will never stop saying on Sundays. I always look at the faces and it's great. It's like, is this a shame thing? No. This is called an alarm clock. Let's all wake up. Ask and you shall receive. What part of that don't we understand? Ask and I shall receive. Does that mean you bargain with it? No. Make a deal with it? Oh my gosh, I've said it a million times, but how many times I have went into negotiations before I even decided what I wanted. Before I even decided what I wanted, I started going, well, if I can't get that, I'll get this. It says, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. There ain't no might about it. As long as your request, your requirement, your wish is felt by all five senses. Do you believe it? Do you hear it? Do you see it? Do you smell it? Do you touch it? Do you embody it completely? Then you've got it. If it arrives in your life, what a great way to live. What a wonderful way to live that I get this simple barometer. How do I feel, as Esther Hicks Abraham said, how do you feel? That's your If you feel like doo-doo, then if you not feel good, if you don't feel good, then guess what's happening? There's not an alignment going on. And I really, really am starting to trust that. Well, Frankenfurter came in my meditation yesterday, but that's okay. I know there's a visual going on, isn't there? That just can you imagine, though, you're in the middle of meditation, I'm hearing this, and all of a sudden I'm going, oh, Frankenfurter again? But there was something about that because I love that idea of I ask for nothing and you shall receive it in abundance. That means that anything we ask for at any time. So today I had kind of a revelation, 5:30 in the morning. Can you imagine? They just come at any time. These revelations come. And I was thinking about the idea of trust and why certain things come so easily and certain things don't. And it really comes from how much I value myself. How much do I value me? Not how much am I waiting for you to tell me how much you value me, which I have to tell you I do on occasion. I want you to like me. I've said it before, right? And then when you don't, or something comes up that isn't in alignment, then I have to trust that I know exactly who I am. And I am much more than what you're even seeing standing right here. And some questions came up for me, because I know that whatever I'm creating in my life, it's showing up. That's my barometer. How's your life going? Take a look. How am I? Awesome. Then Reverend Diane's life is awesome, right? That's right. Awesome. And yet we still would like a little bit more in life. I mean, it's awesome. Life can always be awesome and want more. We are negotiating far, far too much, bargaining far too much. So I came up with some questions. And if you come to the workshop on Wednesday, you might even explore them a little further, but that's just called a plug. Albert Schweitzer says, example is not the main thing in influencing others. It's only when I'm up here. Just so you'll know, only when I'm up here. Yeah. Goodbye. I'm going with Carrie and Michael. Okay. In abundance. So Albert Schweitzer says this, example is not the main thing in influencing others. It is the only thing. And so I said to myself, Patrick, what do you want more than anything in this world? You keep asking them what do they want? You tell me what you want. And this is what I want, besides being incredibly wealthy, healthy, sexy, but I already have that. What I really want is to be an example of this teaching. Fully. Not part-time, not look what I manifested, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. This is called I want to be an example 100% of my day. Not for you, for me. And when I am for me, you will be the mirror, as you pointed out. So these are the questions that I came up, and they're not really fully answered yet, but here goes. Am I someone I would look up to? Am I someone that I would respect? Am I someone who I would like to be when I grow up? Am I someone who walks their talk? Am I someone who I would want my children to have as a role model? Am I an example of God in action? These are some very, very interesting and powerful questions that came to me through my meditation this morning, and I will work on them all week long, because those questions that I just read, I want the answer to be fully 100% yes to all of them. And though I said, for the most part, I already started negotiating, right? I said, well, for the most part, the most part. Well, may I ask what the other part is? Is that when I'm practicing the opposite of this? So I'm going to end with these questions again, because I really think they're valuable. If I can know this, if I can know that Patrick FEren is worth falling in love with, if I know that, then every bit of love will come to me in all areas of my life. And you may think to yourself, well, of course he does. Of course he does. Look at him. Is that what you're thinking? But let me tell you, you still need to ask the questions again, and I'm going to do them for you again. Close your eyes and just settle into this. And whatever the answers are, know that the beauty is that if they're not fully where you want them to be, you are always at choice. Am I someone I would look up to? Am I someone I would respect? Am I someone I would like to be when I grow up? Am I someone who walks their talk? Am I someone who I would want my children to have as a role model? Am I an example of God in action? And so what I know for each and every one of us here right now in this moment, that you are all of these things and more. You come from a rich, rich stock of spirit, of presence that has created all things. You are already all of these things. And when I grow up, I would like to be each and every one of you and your lovely, lovely presence. Take these questions, take the answers. It's already all there. Infinite intelligence has already spoken. Love has already made the way. And the love has made it so. And so it is. Thank you. Namaste. All right. So let's have our time of affirmative giving. We also have an affirmation,
the great thing about being abundant is you get to share it. So thank you for sharing your abundance with us today.
Yes.
And with this beautiful CSL Kauai that goes forth to make a difference in this world. We have a new sacred giving affirmation. It's on in your program, and it says, "Today I meet my abundance. My abundance is forever expressing itself to me and through me. I can now see, hear, and feel it in and around me. It fills me with a great surge of life. I share my abundance today, knowing there is always more and more. I share it, and it is returned to me, multiplied infinitely." Mahalo.
I see you, you see me. We gather today to set our hearts free. We come to shine, shine, shine. We come to shine, shine, shine. And live in gratitude. Gotta breathe in this moment, breathe in this life, breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe, to live abundantly. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life, breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe, to live abundantly. I gotta stay true to myself, true to myself and others. Gotta stay true to myself, because it's the only way. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life, breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe, to live abundantly.
Oh, I give thanks for the divine abundance flowing in and through this congregation today. What a blessing we have received, and we use as good stewards of our abundance. I am so grateful to feel the love and support of CSL Kauai as this abundance moves in us and out into the world. Mahalo, mahalo, and so it is.
Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life, breathe
And before we do that, Michelle, can you grab the yes box?
Yes.
If something has come up for you during the service, I just laughing because I'm still thinking of Frankenfurter, sorry. So if something's come up for you that you would like us to even know even more, which it's already done, as we said the moment you requested, there is our yes box. And why we call it the yes box is you put the treatment in, put the request, and it closes, and that means, and so it is, it's done. But we actually do take them and then pray upon them as well.
Can I do one more thing?
Of course.
I want to say Harry and Carla are leaving us just for a little bit.
Just for a little bit, they'll be back.
But they are new members too, so I just want to honor them today and say thank you
'Cause they're gonna
for
be
joining
leaving
our
this
Ohana.
week, so.
Yeah. All right. So are we ready? Yeah. Let's have the kids come up and.
Let's see what they were up to today.
Yes. Wait.
Hey,
Hold on a
guys.
second.
Anybody else want to come up? We need a couple shake people. Jack, come on, bro.
Hold
Come on,
on.
Steve.
Anything go on special today, Janice?
Oh, we got some
We
kids.
just explored with
Hold on, guys.
cause and effect in different ways, and a lot of different ways, so maybe they can tell you their favorite way. We did a lot of different activities. So we explored with mixing colors, what happened when we mix certain colors, and with balloons, and then we read a book about a little boy who wanted everyone to look up. So every day he just thought, look up, and finally people looked up, and yeah.
Thank you, Janice.
Janice.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
kids. They can
You
stay.
guys want to stay up here with the music?
Wow.
Guys.
Wow. Hello.
Whoa, whoa. Look at this.
The CSL Choir.
You guys are in great
Come on up,
hands.
guys.
All right. You guys want to rise up for a minute?
A brand new closing song.
This song is originally called Higher Love by Steve Winwood, and we're going to do it for this month, right? Higher Love, everyone.
Think about it. There must be higher love down in our heart or hidden in the stars above. Without it, life is wasted time. Look inside your heart, look inside mine. Things are looking better every day. In this whole world, we'll know the way. We walk along and see so clear, living my life without fear.
Bring me a higher love.
Bring me a higher love.
Here we go. You guys can clap.
Bring me a higher love. Higher love. I'm thinking of.
So what I know is this higher love is going higher and higher and higher. We're starting with Janice and the kids. Thank you so much for creating this safe space for these wonderful, wonderful godlings to express themselves. And what I know is that Michelle, nobody does them like you, girl. On the announcements, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And Harry and Katie, just saying hey as you came to the door. They say what? They say hey. That's right. And meditation, Rob Jones, double duty today. And Jonathan back there, who will be here for the next 3 weeks, while our wonderful Roseanne and Rob are off. Well, I'll let them tell you. Just say China's a nice place to go. And we have Roseanne, who always does the wonderful, wonderful programs and everything else. And Ron Stover making cake. More cake, that's it. So we say thank you for the sweetness of life. Thank you. And I thank Reverend Diane, who's in the bookstore. And I thank this wonderful CSL choir that has just made it. And we're going to enjoy every moment of Carrie and Michael this month of abundance, are we not?
Patrick and Rita, everybody.
Yes. There we go. And Louise on drums. Thank you. You ready? Let's take it
Raise the
home.
roof, everybody.
Worlds are turning, and we're hanging on, facing our fear and making our home. A yearning, and it's real to me. I know there's someone who's cheering for me.
Take it higher.
Send it out there, everybody.
Look
One
up.
more time. Hit it, Jonathan. Bring us out.
And so it is. Namaste.
There we go.
Aloha.
CSL Kauai.
That's right. Woo! And so it is.